All right, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I hope you're all doing fine. Today, we're going to have a look and a deep dive into modern virtualization by looking at your migration path from VMware to open source together. So for your information, this session is being recorded and the record will be made publicly available later on. Heading right in, my name is Christian. I'm the partner manager of Adfinis, and I'm happy to be today's keynote host. If you want to get in touch, please feel free to do so via email or LinkedIn. Introducing today's speakers, we have Sergio Bernal Ponce. He's a senior systems engineer at Adfinis, as well as SUSE. We have the SUSE's cloud native evangelist of the DACH region, David Weyand, with us. And they will shortly introduce themselves as well upon starting their respective part. So today's agenda, we have 5 points to deliver today. First, I'm going to make a short introduction of Adfinis and our partnership with SUSE. We're going to move on and take a look at the implications of Broadcom's acquisition of VMware. Then we take a closer look of SUSE's answer to these movements in the market, which is, of course, SUSE Virtualization. This will be then followed by a comparison of snapshot and emphasizing advantages that come with it. And lastly, we take a glance at the migration roadmap and do a Q&A. So feel free to enter your questions in the chat, and we will be answering them at the end of the session. So about Adfinis. Who is Adfinis? For those who don't know, we are a company, almost 170 people, a global system integrator and a service provider of open source IT solutions. We've been around for about 25 years, so actually more than that. We're in the 26th, and we deliver IT solutions built on open source technology. We are globally active, but we have entities in 6 different locations, including Germany, the Netherlands, Australia, New Zealand, Egypt, and also Switzerland, where the company emerged from. During that lifespan and time span, Adfinis has built up a strong partnership with vendors and also like SUSE to offer our customers a tailored approach to covering the entire IT lifecycle. So this means from strategy to execution, Adfinis provides consulting and planning, engineering expertise, and also 24/7 managed services to ensure a seamless and reliable operations. Our customers are mostly organizations with either a high security requirement, so those are banks, insurance companies, and public authorities, or companies in need for high technical skills in the areas of our service and partner product portfolio. That being said, the open and inner source mindset is at the very core of our company, as well as our core values, which are excellence, collaboration, integrity, sustainability, and transparency. So it's no wonder that digital sovereignty is very, very closely located to our hearts. Our company purpose is to strengthen the digital backbone of society with robust and reliable open source solutions, so that the world can rely on them every single day. As a SUSE Diamond partner, we collaborate closely with the deliver enterprise open source solutions tailored to each customer's specific needs, everything without vendor lock-in. But what does that exactly mean for you? It means you, as a customer, you get exactly what you need when you need it. May that be a proof of concept, help with consultancy, support in form of a managed service like an SLA 24/7 for specific use cases that cannot be covered elsewhere. Adfinis and SUSE can deliver jointly and resiliently. And frankly, our achievements, they speak for themselves. We have been partnering for over 12 years now, have over 40 certified technical individuals at Adfinis, and we're able to help over 60 customers to successfully master their challenges at hand. But enough of this. I'm now going to shut up and set the stage for our Sergio and David, who will tell us more about modern virtualization and more specifically how we can solve a massive pain most teams using VMware have been sitting on for quite some time now. So I'm handing over to you, Sergio.
Hello. So I hope you can see my presentation over here. Well, my name is Sergio. I'm from Adfinis. See if I can move the ribbon. No, I can't. This ribbon is very obstructing me. Okay. So as I was telling you, I'm Sergio. I'm a senior systems engineer from Adfinis. I'm glad to have you here today with us. But before we dive in, I would like to get a quick sense from the room and ask you how many of you have heard about Broadcom's acquisition of VMware. If you would like to put your hand up, you can press the small hand icon down there in the center of the ribbon, in the bottom of the webinar window. Okay, great. Thank you. Well, as many of you already know, this acquisition has brought some major changes. Since the deal closed, we've seen quite unpredictable shifts in pricing, product bundles, and supermodels. These made batching acquisition very difficult, if not impossible. And Broadcom's new model clearly favors larger enterprises. This means mid-market and smaller organizations are now forced to pay premium subscription prices for features they often don't need. And on top of that, the changes have come really quickly, and there hasn't been much room for negotiation, which we think has put strain on client relationships and raised some real questions about whether VMware and Broadcom are long-term partners you can trust. And then finally, the combination of the rising costs and the significant layoffs has led to a decline in service levels, slower response times, and unfortunately, the loss of deep technical expertise that many teams relied on. So today, we're going to explore what this actually means for an organization like yours and what practical options we have moving forward. So what changed? As you can see, the changes have been quite dramatic. Perpetual licenses and the old flexible SKUs are essentially gone. Instead, customers are now being forced into expensive bundles like VCF, the VMware Cloud Foundation, or vSphere Foundation. And we see many organizations may be paying for a large set of features that may never actually use. And on top of that, we've seen a shift to per-core licensing combined with a strong move towards subscription-only models. And after 2 years after the acquisition, the impact is clear. 86% of VMware customers are actively shrinking their VMware footprint, mainly due to ongoing concerns around costs, uncertainty, and support quality. This is not just a minor adjustment. We believe it's a fundamental shift in how VMware or Broadcom operates. So how many of you were aware that Broadcom basically performed a complete structural reset of VMware licensing and the support, partnership, and the overall strategy? So you can raise your hands, and again, pressing the small hand icon in the center of the ribbon in the bottom of the webinar window. You can see the, yeah, right. So the next step. So at this point, we think that inaction is the riskiest thing we could do. We already know that the Broadcom situation is unpredictable, and that's really all we need to suggest you to prepare a formal exit strategy. The goal here is to move away from cost-driven panic and towards a controlled strategic execution. So If we wait until the next renewal or a sudden price spike, we lose our leverage. So by starting now, we can evaluate our options calmly without that external pressure. There are solid enterprise-ready alternatives on the table today. And for the rest of this presentation, we are going to focus specifically on SUSE virtualization. So it's not just about the license. It's about whether the support quality meets your standards and if the platform actually aligns with your RTO and RPO requirements. We have to be honest about the team's readiness for change and the migration risks involved. We're looking for a partnership built on reliability and operational maturity, not just a list of features in a bundle that we might end up not using at all. So moving to a new long-term partner is a significant commitment. So we need to ensure the flexibility we gain is worth the initial effort of the transition. About the numbers. In our market, reliability is non-negotiable. But also, we shouldn't be paying over the odds. Transitioning to a solution like SUSE virtualization can save you from 40 to 70% on the total cost of ownership compared to the current Broadcom VMware model. This is driven by flexible licensing, predictable renewals, and no forced bundling of products. However, we must manage expectations. Moving away from VMware means that we will investing in a skilled team rather than expensive proprietary ClickSoft solution, and a good one. Some advanced features will require deeper technical expertise, but the trade-off is clear. Most organizations see a full return of investment in their migration in less than 12 months. We suggest not just to cut costs, but reinvest those savings back into your own engineering talent and long-term sovereignty. So in our experience on these transitions, the speed of lift and shift might not be the best metric. For us, what actually dictates success is how your teams handle day two operations. We think that a migration is only successful if your admins aren't struggling the next day after go live. We need to look critically at the operational reality. Are the new monitoring metrics clear, or is the team struggling to make sense of them? How easy is for your team to patch, to scale, troubleshoot with the new solution? How is the backup and disaster recovery integration? If your DR strategy doesn't align with your existing RTO and RPO requirements, the cost saving won't matter during an outage. So our role is to ensure your team is operationally mature enough to handle the platform, or that the right escalation paths are firmly in place before the first workload moves. So to ensure stability, we recommend a phased roadmap that prioritize risk mitigation over speed. The objective here is to build internal confidence. We suggest starting with phase one, focusing maybe on low risk workloads from the test or the development environments. This will allow your specialists to validate fundamental mechanics like VM migration, snapshots, and how storage works without affecting the critical workloads. And once the platform is proven, phase two moves to stateless applications. We leave business-critical stateful workloads and databases for phase three. By then, your team will have full hands-on experience with the backup and recovery workflows, ensuring that when you finally migrate the most critical workloads, the team will be ready to manage. We think that a structured timeline is essential for maintaining control over the transition. We propose starting with the 2-week assessment and planning phase. This will be a strategic classification of your workloads by criticality to ensure that the first migration candidates are chosen logically. And immediately following that, we move into our proof of concept. In weeks 2 and 3, we deploy SUSE virtualization and migrate that initial test batch to the platform. Then the goal here is twofold: technical validation, and more importantly, building trust. Your specialists need this hands-on time to get used with the new interfaces and verify that the platform performs as expected under your specific constraints before moving forward. Then moving into weeks 4 through 6, the focus shifts to test migrations. This is a scheduled move of your dev and test workloads. The objective here is to demonstrate that these systems can run reliably and sustainably within the SUSE virtualization environment. And by week 7, we will pause for a critical reevaluation. And this is where we determine if your team is ready or if further technical shadowing or certified training is required to bridge any remaining gaps. It's about ensuring that the foundation is solid before we iterate into the next phases. And with this, it has been truly a pleasure having you here today. I will hand over now to my colleague David, and he will get over the platform in more detail.
Yeah, Sergio, thank you very much, and welcome all that attenders today, and thank you for the chance to present here with you together our solution. And we talked and heard from SUSE Virtualization, and at first I want to say our SUSE Virtualization is not only a lift and shift, and we heard from Sergio in the last slides that we need to change something, and we want to go in something what is future proof, and that is something what we do with SUSE in our next generation virtualization. What that means later on, at first, to my person, my name is David Wyand. I'm the cloud native evangelist from SUSE in the DACH region. What is that position? The position is everything what is not Linux from SUSE, and most of our customers doesn't know that we do more than only operating system, but we do, and that is something what I want to show you how we work today. Let us start with one thing what we could see on the market and what is a challenge, but on the other side also a chance. The choice is under attack. We saw it not only with the Broadcom acquisition, we saw it also in all that other situation, Red Hat and IBM, the globally discussions, a hyperscaler, and so on and so on. There are hundreds of examples where we saw that choice is under attack. But the choice could be bring us also a new view of innovation. And SUSE is one of the innovation leader globally. What is different with SUSE? SUSE is a company who works fully open source and built from open source enterprise products. What is normally nothing what is special, but we are 32 years on that market, and we play in all the big communities a big role. So we have different pillars on the market where we saw what is next in the market, and that is the reason why we don't talk about virtualization shift, or we don't talk about one product. We talk about solution. For us, solution in cloud native is the next step of our infrastructure. We are specialists of infrastructure things. Yeah, we move from a company who builds up safe and smart operating systems to a customer who brings solution to the market and work with his partners really close. So for us, it is important to not only be a vendor, we are a partner for our partners, we are a partner for the community, we are also a partner for our business partners and system integrators. So what are our 4 big pillars? Our 4 big pillars start up with Linux. Linux is something what is the baseline for all the other pillars here on that page. Our big view on our solutions are heterogeneous. That means we build up our whole solution from a baseline. Our baseline for the cloud native things are 2 main things. At first, we need a smart, easy, and small and safe operating system. That is our Linux micro. That is in a green box here. But for the future, it is more than only operating system. Our operating system is the baseline for our cloud native solution. Our cloud native solution is in the blue box. Our cloud native solution hands on every Kubernetes solution what you see on that market. What brings a solution what is today industry standard. That means we work on 2 industry standards. Our operating system is a Linux operating system that is more or less with more than 70% on the installed basis on that globally world baseline, yeah, and the industry standard. But on the other hand, Kubernetes, what is growing up year over year, more than 18 to 20% to the year before. But on the other hand, virtualization is today a bare metal virtualization. What is special for us? So we move up from bare metal virtualization to virtualization that is based on Kubernetes. So we have one solution for every future-proof workload what you need, yeah, and we handle everything in that blue box what you need for your daily business. We talk about day 1, day 2 operations. Everything what you need with one standard is in our system, and everything what you need for your day 2 operation is also in our system, and it is open for all that other vendors. So if we really have a look in our virtualization and look a little bit deeper in that solution himself, it is not only a solution who brings up virtual machines. No, it is a solution who brings up your modern art of application and your modern communication and business processes. What means we start with our software appliance. In that green box on the left, we could see our SUSE Linux Micro as a baseline, the Kubernetes as the orchestrator, and we deploy on that baseline our VMs and our containers. That is quite similar, the same as an ESX host. That is a software appliance that you install with one ISO and you are ready. 5 minutes, the installation is done. It is not difficult, it is smart and easy. By the other hand, we need also management. Our management is the SUSE Ranger Prime system. Our management is quite the same than the vCenter for VMware, but we do more with our management. I will show you later more about that. And what is also important, the handling day for day is not driven in a shell. It is also a web end, and that web end is near on that what you know from the vSphere client. We handle VMs on the same way. We have our live migration, what is quite the same than vMotion. We have snapshots. We have integrate backup solution. We handle our networking with virtual switches, and so on, templating and everything what you know. And on the same way, we handle also our lifecycle management. It is also in a graphical interface on the right here with the upgrade button, and we handle everything in our enterprise solution for the lifecycle management without any downtime. That means you work every day quite the same than you do it today. And that is easy for you to shift and live in a new solution with a better future-proof environment. We are also open for hundreds of different vendors. Yeah, I mean, backup vendors are certified. Veeam, for example, Veritas. Their storage vendors are certified on our solution, like NetApp, Dell, server security. Everything what you need is certified and also open to work with us. And from day to day, it would be more and more vendors. So our system is not only a lift and shift. Our system is a bridge in the next generation of infrastructure. We are working everything of cloud native, what means your infrastructure as a code, your automation, your communication, your security, your reporting, everything is easier with one single platform. And we built that single platform on Kubernetes, what is the industry standard, and brings openness to other vendors. We bring an enterprise solution together for you from our open source solution. That means our whole system is based on the Harvester project, what is a fully open source community. And that means you have definitely zero lock-in in our solution and can really move easy up to that solution. And with the baseline from Kubernetes as a unified platform, we can not only handle with one solution VMs, we also handle containering and modern art of application like AI workloads. We had all that topics in one baseline and one solution. What helps us with working with AI, we integrated in our solution a co-worker, Liz. Liz helps you in your daily business with troubleshooting, with automate your business, with have a better view on your business, helping to understand what the monitoring really tells you, and help you to bring up your operation really efficiently. So the solution himself is built on doing your business smart and easy and absolutely secure. What means we have a good baseline, what is secure and smart for you. We have a management for virtualization, but we have also a management for your business. If you talk about edge systems, what is at the moment really problem with Broadcom? So Broadcom haven't really solution for factories or small environments, and also for IoT technologies. So that means with that solution, you can start up from small things like roboter arms or air gap systems in the edge to the cloud. Yeah, we could do the virtualization, we could do the container managing from one solution. We bring up a connection to cloud native solutions on Kubernetes based, like EKS from Amazon or Azure or Google. And we bring up processes in your business. That means overall, we could bring up the same security policies, the same roles, the same access management, the same reporting, the same auditing, and save your whole business on infrastructure base. And we had hands up also from one management, the importer for VMs, what means that this interface who helps you to migrate VMs from OpenStack, from Broadcom, from AWS, or from anything else into the VM, into the SUSE virtualization, or from the SUSE virtualization, other virtualization. We are open to help you to migrate your workload from left to right, but also from right to left with that interface. And that interface is open for infrastructure as a code, or it is open for our partners. And if you not hear it now, we have a partnership now with cloud-based solution. Cloud-based is a company who getting out faster with you with zero downtime. That means with a web end, you could do migration from hundreds of VMs in the same time without any downtime. And it helps you to getting faster from VMware to SUSE. And that means we don't build up only a virtualization solution. We build up for you a daily business solution. What controls your Kubernetes and your VMs and containers. It brings with SUSE enterprise prime support. Yeah, it helps you to realize your daily business with a real-time monitoring and real-time log inspection. We could integrate our security or other security with open standard interfaces and secure your fully Kubernetes distribution from cloud to edge. We help you with enterprise lifecycle management to bring up your system every time in a new kind of business. Yeah, and we help you to develop and bringing up your own application on DevSecOps level and help you to develop safety with our application catalog. That means with SUSE, you're getting a compliant solution for your daily business, and you are open and future-proof for every kind of business. So SUSE makes choice happen. That means we are open and we are so near on our partners that the movement is quite easy for you. So that's SUSE. Let us see what is open for you. Let us look to your questions. Christian, is there a question?
Yes. Thank you, David. There is one question from Sebastian Wutat. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. He asks, did I understand correctly that all VMs running on this stack are based on KubeVirt?
Yes, that is true. We based on Kubernetes, our solutions, and we handle VMs and container on base of Kubernetes. That's right. With all what the customer need.
Perfect. I do not see any other questions. Maybe we'll give another, let's say, half a minute to give the audience a possibility to ask questions not yet asked, trying to avoid the silence.
Yeah. What could be also from interest is we do this with every kind of customer. So we saw at the moment customer in the defense, in healthcare, in public, in the maintaining. The the most of our biggest projects are at the moment in the edge, to bring up OT to IT closer together. And it is so fast, that innovation, what we feel at the moment, that we bring up in 2 years 196 new functions in that solution. What is quite cool, I think so.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we indeed got another question. Mate Coxis asks, it has not been mentioned like this, but is this the enterprise version of the SUSE Harvester HCI?
Yes, it is. It is. We use Harvester as a baseline and bring it up to an enterprise-ready solution, and we call the Harvester community version in our bucket or in our solution SUSE Virtualization, but by the end it ends up in the community version from Harvester. Yeah, it's right.
Perfect. Good. I think we're all done with the questions. And this leaves me with maybe the closing remarks. Please get in touch with us if you have any questions that may be coming up during your lunchtime, your well-deserved lunch, and get in touch with us. Do not hesitate. And first of all, thank you so much for your time and attention. Time these days is very valuable, so we appreciate it that you spent this 40 minutes or so with us, and we hope to see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.